as the president promises total elimination of Boko Haram. Those are some of our stories today on Panorama, coming to you from the Lagos Network Center. I am Michael Olale. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. President Muhammadu Buhari has enjoined Nigerians to rise above the challenges of religions and ethnicity, and home for the common and work for the common good of the country. The president stated this when he received former members of staff who worked under his leadership as military head of state in Dodan Barrack in Lagos between 1984 and 1985. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Most of us are here tonight. We're very proud of you, and we want to leave this as a momentum for this visit.
Beginning with the handshake with the former members of staff who worked under him 1984 to 85, while he was the former military head of state, President Buhari described them as true loyalists and compatriots. He said their contributions and sacrifices towards nation building and national integration, recorded within the limited period of military administration at that time, cannot be overemphasized. While he expressed appreciation for their support and cooperation towards his successes, the president described the reunion as an emotional one, as he has not seen some of them since 1985, when the military regime he headed was toppled. The president commended particularly the doggedness, sacrifice, and selfless service of his former aide-de-camp, Mustafa Jokolo, who used his initiative to put the parley together. The president equally commended his former number 2 person, late Major General Tunde Idiabong, whom he said showed uncommon loyalty and courage. The president urged them to continue to be God-fearing citizens and always push forward national interest for the desired change and development.
Wherever we find ourselves, please let us continue and pray to God that God will maintain our faith. Wherever I find the word, I try to do my best and pray to God to help me succeed. I very much appreciate what you have done to me. I thank you very much. May God Almighty give us the ways and means to continue to train our family, to lead them, and to make sure we can make our contribution to this country. Whichever religion we follow, if we follow it seriously, we will finally appear before God Almighty and account. Whether people believe it or not is going to happen. So we better all continue to behave ourselves.
The former aide-de-camp, Mustafa Jokolo, who led the group, said, though the departure of the staff from government was unexpected,
head of state between 1984 and 1985.
The former members of staff who cut across the length and breadth of this country served in various capacities of the State House. Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has assured all Nigerians of protection of their lives and property, as well as the rehabilitation of those displaced by insurgency. He was speaking with teaming supporters at the Rama Square, Maiduguri, promising that Boko Haram will soon be eliminated totally. State House correspondent at the Musambo Ige reports that Maiduguri stood still for the president. While we are with that story, moving forward now, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed his deepest condolences to the families of those who lost their loved ones and prayed that the injured recovered quickly following an incident at the massively attended campaign rally in Maiduguri, Borno State, at which on faithful. Several party men and women who wanted a view of the speakers at the rally climbed the roof of the pavilion one of which came down, crashing on other spectators. President Muhammadu Buhari said he was shocked to hear about the loss of lives following the tragic incident at the stadium in Maiduguri. He prayed Allah for the repose of the souls of the deceased. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has assured Nigerians that when re-elected, President Muhammadu Buhari's administration will not share public funds to friends and members. The Vice President made the plea at a dialogue organized by Christian youth in Ikeja, Lagos. Nusa Osula reports.
Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo said President Buhari deserved to be re-elected because of the way he had been able to address grand corruption, which was the main problem that led to the destruction of the nation's economy.
This country has had an economy that has been subjected to the worst forms of corruption. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was a project that has been on forever, but we have only just started now putting in real resources into it. The entire stretch of the road was built in 2 years by a military government. Why couldn't it? Year after year there's a budget. Year after year there's money, but it disappears.
The Vice President, however, called for more tolerance among Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. The Vice President thereafter held a closed-door meeting with various representatives of Igbo groups and organizations in Lagos State. In Lagos, Nusa Osula, NTA News.
Promoting micro, small and medium enterprises to boost economic development and create jobs for the teeming youth remain a priority to the federal government. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo stated this while flagging off the National Micro and Small Enterprises Clinic in Ado-Ekiti. Kola Adebobui reports that Professor Osinbajo also met with the traditional rulers and promised compensation to families of victims of the Iworoko vehicle accident.
Clinic, which brought together artisans, small and medium-scale entrepreneurs from the 16 local government areas of Ekiti State, is aimed at fashioning out modalities that will help sustain the micro, small, and medium enterprises, with poverty, provide empowerment opportunities, and employment generation.
This is one of the major projects of the Buhari government. Empowering young people, empowering businesses. Many more Ekiti people are still going to benefit from it.
The Vice President, accompanied by Governor Kayode Fayemi, later moved to the Awedele Market, BC Market, and Kings Market in the state capital to associate with the traders and launched the Trader Money Initiative to empower about 30,000 traders in the state. The entourage also moved to the Palace of Iwe of Ado-Ekiti, Obarufos Adejugbe, where the Vice President solicited the support of the Traditional Council and people of the state for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari for the second term. Professor Yemi Osinbajo also visited Iworoko Ekiti to commiserate with the people over the demise of the traditional ruler of the town and families of those affected by the unfortunate accident that claimed 12 lives in Ado-Ekiti. Kola Adebobuyi, NT News.
Back to the earlier story where we told you that President Muhammadu Buhari has assured all Nigerians of protection of their lives and property, as well as the rehabilitation of those displaced by insurgency. He was addressing his teeming supporters at the Rama Square, Maiduguri, promising that Boko Haram will soon be eliminated totally. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that Maiduguri stood still for the president.
Activities in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, were completely brought to a halt as President Muhammadu Buhari arrived, the home of peace and hospitality. For a state that was virtually under siege, traumatized, and almost lost a sense of belonging under the last administration, it was an opportunity for the Kanuris to show appreciation for restoring their trust, hope, and confidence in governance, and this is done in a grand style.
This is Mr. Integrity. Baba!
Addressing the mammoth crowd that converged on Ramat Square, Maiduguri, including all the former governors of the state, President Muhammadu Buhari thanked the people for keeping faith with the governing APC. He maintained that securing the country, diversifying the economy, and fighting corruption, which he campaigned on in 2015, are still relevant and will be pursued with vigor until Nigeria's potentials for greatness are fully realized.
Ina kwana ina tashi da abin da ya damu al'ummar Najeriya akan zama lafiya da wadata da kuma arzikin ƙasa. Zan ci gaba da yin iyakar ƙoƙari na kuma na muku alƙawarin duk wanda aka samu da laifin cin amana kowane ne shi za mu hukunta shi.
Governor Kashim Shettima of Borno State told the president that there is no opposition in the state and promised him nothing less than 2 million votes for the APC in the forthcoming elections. For the co-chairman of the campaign council, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the national chairman, Adams Oshomole, it was an opportunity to...
God, that was Obasanjo's legacy. He is therefore not a fit and proper person to take the stage to try to wind the clock back. But Mr. President, Nigerians are wiser. These elections have been won not by Facebook warriors. It has been won by real Nigerian voters and real Nigerian electorate.
Flags were presented to the party's governorship and senatorial candidates, while several prominent politicians in the state who decamped from the PDP, including a former governor of the state, were received into the APC fold. President Muhammadu Buhari had earlier paid homage on the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Galba El Kanami, at his palace, where he was reassured of the unflinching support and loyalty of the people to the federal government, as well as his political aspirations.
I wish to express our sincere thanks and appreciation to Your Excellency for everything you have done to the people of Borno, and you are still doing. You have indeed done us proud, and it is now our turn, the turn of the people of Borno, to do it for you. And no doubt about it, they will do it, Your Excellency. Inshallah.
I assure people of Borno State that we will continue to do our best to secure this geopolitical zone, absolutely.
As the highly revered monarch re-emphasized, the Kanuris and other residents of the state wish they have had a personality molded in the character of President Muhammadu Buhari long before now. From Maiduguri, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
A sensitization movement to encourage Kwarans residing in Lagos to vote in their state has been held in Lagos State. Adiola Omokive reports that the Kwara State APC gubernatorial candidate, Alhaji Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, used the platform to sell his manifesto to the people.
This is the first time Kwarans and Lagos will be coming together as a body to drum support for candidates vying for political offices in Kwara State.
So we've put plans in place to get buses to take people back home, do their voting, and they can come back to their base.
The AP
change begins with you. Oh yeah, make we go. Go to so let the change begin from within. Look at you, oh get roller. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
Glad to know you are still there. In line with election timetable for 2019, the collection of permanent voters' card ends in all the 245 wards in Lagos State. Rotimi Oluwagbemi went round the metropolis to assess the level of compliance by eligible voters.
With 18 days to the end of collection of PVC nationwide, some of the collection centers are experiencing a very low turnout by Lagosians for the exercise. This ward at Sabo Yaba, according to the INEC officials, has been recording low turnout of people for the collection of their permanent voter card.
Some people, they just abandon this, maybe because they've already checking so many times before. So because of maybe they did not have it, so they're not discouraged to come back to have it. And it's not even proper because we are just carrying it up and down. Assuming they come to have it now, so this thing will have been reduced. Even in our office, we have a lot of voters' cards there.
I registered in April, just transfer. You know, I've registered 2011, but with the transfer to my new place now, that's the problem. And now my voters' card, I won't be able to vote. If I can't sleep over 1,004 where I was, where I registered in 2011, that means I will not be able to vote. And I've been following up this. I came all the way from Abuja, this is Yaba.
The situation was not different as Surulere local government.
It's been a very, very long time I've been trying to get this. I've been doing it several times. I've not been able to get it, but I think that I can be able to get it now, and I have it now as my own. So I'm very glad.
If they had gone through electronically, sending people about the availability of their cards, I think it would have made it look seamless. Because for me, nobody informed me. I just walked in because probably it was close to my to where I stay.
I feel really happy, and I think I'm now fully prepared for the forthcoming election.
Mr. Babatunde Suleiman can be said to have disenfranchised himself in the coming election because he has not registered for the permanent voter card.
Lost for my house. I just the sham back. That's why I don't come back. Say, look, I can't change them. And then tell me, say, not by this time. Say, by that time, they take computer, find it. The time don't pass.
It is hoped that Lagosians will come out to collect their PVC before the expiry date of February 8th to avoid being disenfranchised. In Lagos, Rotimi Oluwagbemi, NTA News.
Nigerian judges have been charged to expedite action in adjudication on maritime cases because of their strategic nature. Director General of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, make the plea at the 8th Strategic Law Seminar for Judges in Lagos. Vera Chimuba has more on this.
The maritime industry has been identified as one of the key drivers of the nation's economy, given its potential. This and the need to sensitize judges on the contemporary maritime issues within and outside jurisdiction informed the convergence of judges and maritime experts in Lagos.
An exposure to a seminar like this will enable judges to know the strategic importance of the admiralty business and would, in the course of adjudication, reflect on this matter that is affecting our economy.
Maritime matters are extremely urgent. They should be given immediate priority. Secondly, they see that judges are not as well versed as they should be in maritime law.
What will you do to keep the law very effective is to make sure you get the stakeholders to understand the gap between the law and the society, or the issues or the subjects of discussion.
The Director General of NIMASA, who gave the agency scorecard in its commitment to implementing relevant treaties, said 40 conventions of International Maritime Organization and International Labour Organization on maritime safety have been ratified, of which 19 have been domesticated and incorporated into Maritime Shipping Act, currently undergoing amendment. While the agency is working with Ministry of Transportation to ratify 6 additional International Maritime Organization conventions to ensure Nigeria fulfills its treaty obligation. He also said the draft suppression of piracy bill, which seeks to criminalize piracy and other maritime crimes, has passed first reading in both chambers.
If we are serious about using maritime to deepen our economic growth, then the judiciary must be up and doing. Investors will not put their funds where they are not sure of a dispute resolution system.
Maritime experts discuss various issues of law as they relate to maritime. For quality adjudication of processes in the maritime sector, judges must continue to receive special training to enhance their handling of technical cases. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
Former Minister of State Defense Senator Musiliu Obanikoro told the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos that the former National Security Advisor Colonel Sambo Dasuki directed him to give $5 million to former Governor of Ekiti State Ayodele Fauci a few days to Ekiti State governorship election. Vera Chiuba again has more.
Former Minister of State Defense Senator Musiliu Obanikoro is the 5th prosecution witness to give evidence in the trial of former Governor of Ekiti State Ayo Fayose facing charges of 6.9 billion naira fraud. Obanikoro told the court that in June 2014, close to Ekiti State governorship election, he received a call from Ayo Fayose inquiring from him if there was any message for him for funds from the former National Security Advisor Colonel Sambo Dasuki. The money, Obanikoro said, was eventually brought in a bullion van to the private wing of Ikeja Airport, where one Agbele sent by Fayose was on standby to receive the $5 million, and it was lifted to Ekiti State. The former Minister of State Defense also told the court that he went to Ado Ekiti to meet Fayose in a hotel known as Spotless, and there he handed him over the $5 million, 3 days to Ekiti governorship election. When Senator Obanikoro was asked the source of the money, he said the former National Security Advisor is the only one who can explain as to the source of the funds. Obanikoro, in his reply as to his connection with the money, he, however, said the money was used for security purposes. EFCC Counsel then showed Obanikoro a statement of account on the 13th and 16th of June, indicating monetary postings into the account from the impressed account of National Security Advisor, which he confirmed, and it was admitted as exhibit. Further hearing continues on the 4th of February. Meanwhile, judgment in the case of former Governor of Oyo State, Rashid Ladaja, in the case of 4.7 billion naira fraud has been reserved. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
And now sports, PFL La Liga Coaches Clinic ongoing in Abuja. Just as some top seeds advance at the Australian Open, Kene Emagbodike has details on sport updates.
Over 60 youth coaches based in Nigeria converged on Abuja for the annual Nigerian Professional Football League La Liga Coaching Clinic, which began Monday at the Media Center, National Stadium. The coaches are being tutored in advanced technical aspects of the Spanish methodology on how to develop young football talent.
We are encouraging the MPFL teams to have a youth team, under 15 team, so that these players can be the grassroots of the MPFL teams in a few years.
What we learn here is part of what we use in training players at the national level. Some of the players that pass through the MPFL La Liga Under 17 program are right now in the national team.
A 3-day tennis clinic for secondary school students went underway in Abuja Monday with the organizers, the International Tennis Academy, aiming to identify future talents for the nation. Olaleko Kilajolu reports that over 100 students took part in day one of the program.
Young children all over the world are earning millions of dollars from sport, especially tennis. We owe it to our children to at least minimum introduce them to the sport.
Action continues in the Australian Open in Melbourne with men's world #1 Novak Djokovic defeating Daniil Medvedev 6-4, 6-7, 6-2, 6-3 to reach the quarterfinals Monday. Meanwhile, Serena Williams continued her hunt for a first Grand Slam title since coming back from childbirth last year with a 6-1, 4-6, 6-4 victory over world #1 Simona Halep in the 4th round. With sports update, Kenan Ima Abudike, NTA News.
That is News Panorama from the Lagos Network Center. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon.
I'm Sipasi Olaleko Ayodele. I'm based here in Ikorodu, Lagos State. I'm the founder of Protect Ozone. We train children, youth, and farmers in sustainable agricultural practices to fight hunger and alleviate poverty even in the city. In 2016, joining Empower, I was able to reach